And unlike the studios, we're not going to leave you dry. Well, at least for the first time in like 2 weeks. But hey, there's
was
actually
that just
comics.
like the coldest of openings, like imaginable?
It might have been. It might have been.
Some poor sod's just gonna click play, and it's like, and unlike the studios, like, what's going on?
One of those writers and or actors listening to this is gonna be like, "Oh, I'm not getting paid."
No, not after Igi, you're not. God damn.
Well, we are back for another podcast this week. We do have quite a few topics, and they're actually good. We were going to do a podcast like a week ago, and then I kind of scraped some things together just kind of on my own, and I was like, well, there's one topic worth talking about here, so there was...
I wouldn't have given no scraps to the homeless, to be honest.
Yeah.
That wasn't even worth it.
It was pretty barren, but this week we actually got 4 good topics to talk about, so... We will get to those. We will have 2 bonus videos coming out to members about Aquaman 2 and Black Panther's new game. But before we get there, as always, I am the host of this here show, Armin, and you guys can find me here. And also, I highly recommend our friend Jared. There is a brand new... Look, it's a whole new show they're doing. I'm not going to spoil what it is for you guys. I'm going to have it linked down below in the comments. Also, there'll be a pop-up thing in the community and everything. Their show will be Saturday night, I believe. So check that out for a live stream.
Sunday.
It's Sunday? Okay. What was I thinking of Saturday?
16th, yeah.
I was probably thinking of when this goes up, which this goes up Saturday, and then it's Sunday. Okay, that makes sense.
In fairness, it starts with an S and ends in day. You weren't far wrong.
That's true. Oh, you know, I had 2 chances. I got one. So 50-50.
It was a 50-50.
Yeah. So I'll make sure that's all in the comments and everything. I'll post it on our community wall. But for right now, let me introduce the other people here. We, of course, got Mitch.
What's up? You can find me... The link tree. There's too many social media apps right now.
Yeah, there are. Yeah.
If you put in a combination of my name and numbers, you will absolutely find me. It's not difficult.
Just type in Mitch and slam random, number combos, and you might end up on Mitch.
Yeah. If you've got the number pad on your keyboard, just slap it. You might find it.
Well, speaking of slapping things, Ricardo, how's New York?
Wait, I haven't slapped anything. What are you talking about?
Oh, damn.
Oh, I got you. Okay. I figured it because it's like a war zone over there in New York, always. So you must have been slapping somebody.
I was going to say, is this racist?
Ricardo's fighting in the streets. I'm telling you, you give it another couple years, CBC Felony Fights is returning to Blip TV.
Oh, no.
It's going to happen.
Is Blip even still going?
No, they've been gone since 2014 or something, 2015 maybe.
No, we're on the Tubies now. Tubi.
Oh.
Is Tubi going to let us commentate Felony Fights?
I believe it.
We should go on the dark web.
Oh, sure.
I have a feeling that that's what Miguel O'Hara is going to say to Miles in the next movie, and everybody's going to look at him being like, "What? What was that, Miguel? What are you saying?"
He's like, "I just found this place called Gnomed. That's what I was talking about." If you have I know it's complete tangent here. If you look up the dark web and gnomes, it's wild. No, that's I went down this rabbit hole on TikTok. This guy talking about dark web, and he's trying this gnome thing out, and that's like a horror movie. I've never seen anything escalate quite like that, and it's creepy, man. People are creepy.
Interesting. Well, I guess we'll see. I'm gonna jot a note of that. I got to check that out. See, I've been watching just crazy people try to come up with the dumbest theories of why things are going on, and so I found this. I don't even want to call it a theory because it's so idiotic, but ever heard of the mud floods?
I think I have.
I think so.
Yeah, so there was a secret empire in Russia 150 years ago, right? And they built everything around the earth. But then there was a great mud flood that wiped them out, and then all the governments agreed, we're just going to pretend that they didn't exist and steal all their technology. And it is... Somehow you get into an hour worth of one of those videos, and now they're talking about lizards and fourth dimensions and stuff, and you're like, how? Man, conspiracy theorists are crazy. But
You're telling me Russia Russia was really Wakanda this whole time.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they say. Yeah,
The White Wakanda. It's real.
it's really wild. But yeah, so yeah, the internet. There's quite a few places you can end up that you don't know what you're gonna find. Maybe like this podcast. Somebody stumbled here. This is their. Where have I ended up?
This just ends up a knowledge fight because of Alex Jones somehow.
So, let me just text Jared. Call me quickly. Do your best impersonation. Yep. So, yeah, we do have a few topics here, everybody. So we're just going to get right on to that after this here intro. So, yeah, let's just get to our first. Boy, we're starting this off on a sour note. So the writers are on strike. And they've been joined by the actors who are now on strike.
First time in 60 years.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Another once in a lifetime thing we have to live through. Because we haven't had enough of that, apparently.
Oh. It's like this whole thing could have been avoided if they were just willing to pay the actors and the writers what they deserve. But of course, streaming. And this was, make no mistake about it, popularized by Netflix, where they were the first in town, and their contracts were, we don't have to tell you anything, and then everybody followed, and we're now in such a paradigm shift that, remember back in the day, like, I'll use this as a comic book example, because I think it's the best one. Jack Nicholson, famously, used to be a $20 million asking price to join a film. For the Batman, he took less than a quarter of that and said, you know what? I'm going to take a substantially smaller payday, but what I'm going to do is ask you guys for residuals. And they were like, what an idiot. This is never going to be that big. He makes $20 to $30 million a year to this day thanks to Batman 89, doing nothing. Actors don't get that anymore, and none of the writers do either, and they're all fighting for that again because, guess what? When your movie goes to Netflix or somewhere, it doesn't matter how many millions of views it gets, you're not getting paid extra. And that's honestly really dishonest and not good for anybody involved with it. It's terrible. You know, outside of the corporates that are making all the money. So,
but how can we pay these people when Bob Iger's, he's earning like 25 million plus a year, and his bonus is expected to be now 5 times bigger than it was before? Think of Bob. Like, come on now.
Maybe Bob Iger should bring back those expensive $50 million tequilas.
It's like, I don't know, Mitch, you're kind of also online. What have you seen from some of the people's arguments and perception of this? Because I've seen a complete mix. I've seen idiots defending these corporations, and I'm just like,
unfortunately, that's the majority of it, right? That I've seen.
Yeah.
To be fair, that's more on Twitter than anything. We know Twitter these days is just Elon Musk town. It's just bots spewing the same old crap. But
yeah.
It's either everyone's. It's a 50-50 from what I've seen. Right. 50% of the people that are actually real are all in favor, and they're smart and they're not dumb. The other half is just bots that are incredibly dumb and written by a 13-year-old.
And also...
Or like a 50-year-old man-child. No,
I was going to say, don't forget the old man grifters that are grifting people, being like, actually, if they don't pay them, then we win. It's like, huh? Then how are you going to make money off of complaining about the next Star Wars thing if there's no next Star Wars thing? Like,
you see, the writers are woke, and therefore they should go broke.
Yeah, legit, though, that's an argument I've seen. I'm like, you guys are... I can't believe that's I can't believe that thought enters somebody's brain and then it actually comes out their mouth and they're like, yeah, I'm sticking by that. That is...
not having writers and actors is how we get the Snyder Cut or the Snyderverse back, because that makes sense.
I've seen that as well, which, to be fair, I'm convinced that universe didn't actually have writers, so that might actually be something to explore there. Yeah.
I mean, it did. It clearly didn't, so...
And they had David Goyer, but is he really a writer? He's kind of like a bad trained AI, like a version 1.
He's just ChatGPT.
He was proto ChatGPT. That's what we're going to learn.
The G stands for Goyer.
Oh, no.
Oh. Speaking of AI, what was the final straw of like the actors going on strike? It's you ever heard of was it Black Mirror, the Black Mirror series
Yeah.
on Netflix? Yeah, there was an episode. There was legit an episode before the strike happened, like a day or so when they dropped, and they had an AI episode, and they had like they AI'd the actors and everything. It was wild.
What?
Yeah.
Man, I didn't even know Black Mirror was back, so good advertising, Netflix. So, all right.
That feels like a real sense of irony. It's like The Boys taking the piss out of franchises and then becoming a franchise itself.
Yeah.
It's like we're gonna, Black Mirror's a parody and all this sci-fi stuff and dystopian, and then they use dystopian shit to make an episode.
Yeah, it's weird. It's wild. I mean, I don't even know. This whole thing is just insane. But
what's insane is that the plan is to starve the writers out.
Yeah,
come on.
That's wild. That's really wild because literally a lot of the best content we get in media is from writers because people always like, for example, let's bring up like the Russo brothers, right?
Yeah.
You think the Russo brothers would make it this far without Christopher McFeely and the other guy?
Right.
Yeah. His other name. Yeah, it's
Marcus
like.
McFeely,
Yeah, so it's like. Literally, a lot of the best content is from writers. Like people give directors way too much credit. Like look at the Directors Guild. They already
they sold it out. They took it first, the smallest deal possible.
They made the deal already. It was like, like, bro.
Sure, it's only a 3-year deal, right? They're not exactly clinging onto it for long, but come on, they literally do half your work.
Yeah, it's and that's the thing. Like reading that whole article, right, and then seeing the backup by all the other trades, they're like, oh, we can't confirm this. Their goal is to let the writers literally lose their homes in Hollywood and wherever they are, and then they're going to renegotiate. So essentially, Hollywood is saying, we're not budging until you come back and work under the same conditions. And it's like, okay, so estimated 160,000 writers now are a part of this. Like,
and it's probably going to get worse.
Yeah, and then the actors.
Is that just America? Because I know the UK writers are.
It sounds like that's just America, but it's the numbers are never confirmed because we don't know the exact counts. But again, it's insane. It's absolutely insane that it got here, but it did.
Because what they're going to do now, they literally can't do anything. They have no actors.
Right. Yeah,
I knew it was weird when all those trailers were just dropping in one day. I was like, yo, why we got like 10 trailers?
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on?
I mean, don't worry though. Apparently, the third trailer for Blue Beetle dropped and nobody noticed that there was a second one. So that was impressive.
Was that a third? I thought it was the second.
I thought that was the second one.
I saw it was the third. Oh no! I guess there was the international recut, which was technically trailer 2 in some territories.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count.
Yeah, but hey, nobody knew this trailer was out either, so that's something.
I mean, is it a trailer or the whole movie? Find out.
WB, so whole movie, of course, of course. Well,
it's just Shazam, but blue.
Blue
Shazam. They already did evil Shazam. Now it's blue Shazam. Man, they got a pattern over here.
We're gonna have like almost no content of film and TV next year.
Yeah.
I mean, we got reality TV shows. I guess we could talk about that on the podcast, right?
I mean, I'm down to talk about The Circle because that's like the best reality show ever made.
We got that. We got Ultimatum. We got Love is Blind. We got Real Housewives. Don't worry.
Oh boy! All right. It's... Yeah.
You ever heard of Naked Attraction?
I've heard of it.
Oh, I guess I'm gonna have to watch it now. We gotta keep the show alive.
Yeah, what else are you gonna be watching?
So just think of Blind Date, but they're literally naked.
Oh, it is officially the end of The Flash. We are recording this, and it hasn't even been.
Hold on.
Wait, which
when
Flash
did it start?
Well, okay. Okay.
You never got going.
You know what? You win on that one because, it never really got to take off. Here's the irony, though. The film hasn't even been out a month as of the recording of this. It's going to hit a month in, 4 days, right? And the film is officially hitting streaming platforms or digital storefronts, but it dropped out of top 10 where like the Little Mermaid, Guardians are still in there. Films before Guardians are still in there.
Spider-Verse doesn't even want to release in home media.
Right, and Guardians is further out too when it comes to home media. Like
Guardians is, well, you can buy it on Sky here now.
Yep, you can buy it on digital platforms, and physicals I think next month. So
yeah, I think Spider-Verse is August. They said
August digital, August,
and then physical September. Which again, the Flash, everything seems to be getting bumped up because remember the digital release date was set for like reportedly late August to September, but I mean, they thought they were going to be making at this point 4 more times than what they're at now. So
remember when I said for like 6 months this movie's not going to do well?
Yeah.
It's not even going to hit like 400 mil.
That exceeded your comment because the fact that it's Warner Brothers' biggest bombs of all time is crazy.
Green Lantern's like breathing a sigh of relief.
I don't even think it's one of, right? It is like
it's their
right?
biggest bomb, yeah.
Yeah.
From marketing to like they could even make its mark. It's honestly insane. Yo, pray for Michael Keaton, man.
Not only is it WB's biggest bomb of all time, it's the biggest comic book movie bomb of all time. Like we're talking, this thing makes Elektra and Catwoman look more profitable because they are. Mm-hmm. Like that is.
I mean, it makes Green Lantern look more profitable, right?
Yeah, that is wild.
Not that movie made money, but it made more money than this somehow.
Hold up. The Flash makes Jonah Hill look good.
Oh no.
I had to work in a Jonah Hill reference somehow.
No. I genuinely forgot about that. Now I'm sad again. Buy his merch and join his cult. That's his response.
What is it?
We must wait to hear both sides, guys.
Tell me what it is with all these celebs that get exposed and they're like, man, they're pretty terrible people, and they're all like, we started a cult of buy our merch. Well, you know what? I'm expecting WB to be like, we're releasing the Jonah Hill cut of The Flash. We're doing secret reshoots. He's gonna be Batman.
Might as well just throw in Jared Leto in it too.
I mean, he was already part of that universe, so just bring him back.
Oh, he was, yeah.
Yep. Oh, what a time to be alive as a DC fan. Like, I cannot believe that The Flash bombed as hard as it did, but I
was expecting it to tank, but not like.
Yeah.
Barely hit 100 mil domestically tank.
Yeah.
Black Adam really changed the game.
It did. It's their biggest film.
I'll say Black Adam's their most profitable movie so far.
Yeah.
Because The Rock, it proved that the rock star power actually did work.
I mean, Mitch, you say, it's like, it's their biggest, most profitable movie, and it still didn't make a profit.
I know.
It's the least of the losers. That is, my God. And
you know who's the biggest loser here? Is Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
That poor guy.
Yep.
Bro, I even said, I was like, yo, the VFX. I was like, did they just give all that to Blue Beetle because
it looks like it.
Flash?
Yeah,
it looks like it.
Because the Flash looked like mud, and then you look at Blue Beetle, it was like, yo, I swear this movie has like the lowest budget. What's happening?
Yeah. I mean, it's
a shame no one's gonna watch it to find out. So,
Mitch,
man, I'm about to give it my money.
I will. Cool. You give it $45.
Cobra Kai never dies.
I will let you know, Mitch, that I've seen early tracking of Blue Beetle, and it's going to land anywhere between 0 to 50 million.
Total or just opening weekend?
Nobody knows.
Great. So my 45 prediction wasn't far off then. Fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, look, if The Flash can't open with more than like 55 or whatever, with Michael Keaton in all the advertising, I do not believe Blue Beetle can make $17, okay? Like,
no, it'll make 45 cents on the Friday you watch.
That's why James Gunn is giving literally that one DC film a chance. They're like, look, I know this movie is not going to make any money. That's why he's staying in the DCU.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're keeping the actor, not the movie. Like, get rid of that.
Like he's trying.
You know what's done it, don't you?
Mm.
Because they said that Blue Beetle's got cameos in it.
Uh-huh.
They just don't learn.
Yeah.
Every time they say, "Oh, this movie's got cameos," it tanks.
Yeah, why?
No one cares.
I mean, I love how they already started the Aquaman 2 advertisement by being like, oh, just wait till you see Wonder Woman, and you're like, huh,
oh, man.
Yay, again. Ugh. Damn.
Because that worked out so well for Shazam 2, right?
Yeah.
I still haven't even seen Shazam 2, I'm not gonna lie.
Neither have I, but I saw the Wonder Woman cameo, or just a screenshot of it, and there's people literally photoshopped into the back.
I will stand by what I said, that Shazam 2 is the worst of the 3 films that WBD has put out in the last year.
I refuse to believe that because Black Adam was so
No,
bad.
Black Adam's better.
The worst bit is I'm not willing to watch it, which probably says a lot, actually, because I watched Black Adam. But, yeah, I'm not willing to find out.
Okay, Mitch, let me explain to you a scene in Shazam 2 that I am not making up, I swear to God. So you know that like the tuba music that they play in Aquaman when like they're going across the desert? Like, boom,
yes.
Boom, boom.
Yes.
Okay, now imagine a little crippled like Freddy, right? As he's trying to sneak around gods, arguing of what they should do and how they should kill Shazam, while he is on crutches, doing that same thing while a light tuba plays and he's tripping and trying not to drop all sorts of like expensive vases or something. And I was literally watching this film and I stopped for a second and I pick up my phone and I'm like, just text my buddy. I'm like, I'm not even high, but what is this scene? And he was like, oh, I warned you about this. Dude, it is bad. It is. Black Adam is so much better. I can't believe I'm saying that about Black Adam, but my God, it's.
See, I knew you guys would. I knew you'd come to my side.
Ricardo was right about the hierarchy.
I held on. I knew Black Adam would get some praise.
Bring back the Black Adam verse.
Maybe Dwayne Johnson was right. He was right.
I mean, let's be clear. All the Zoa, that's what did it, right?
Yep.
It's about drive. It's about power. It's
about family because he's in Fast 10.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, let's talk about Superman Legacy because James Gunn was like, okay, we have 36 hours to go till the actor strike, and I can't hire anybody, so I better hire the entire cast. Oh, my God.
He just walked out in the street and it was like, you'll do.
Who's out here that wants a job right now? And you. Hey, Nathan Fillion, why don't you come join my franchise again?
I figured Nathan Fillion was going to be in the film, but Guy Gardner, I was like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, it's whatever. I've never been a big Guy Gardner fan. I like Kyle, but I don't think I'm gonna get that in my lifetime. So
I'll say Kyle, ironically, is the only Latin they haven't talked about.
Yeah,
because we know it's Hal Jordan and Stewart in the show,
yep.
And then you got Guy Gardner as Philly in the movie.
So yeah, as far as we know, there's no Kyle or Alan Scott, which okay, the second one makes sense. I mean, they could probably do something with Kyle. Here, prediction. I'm gonna make a wild prediction right now. When
Is
they're
it about
doing
his wife?
when they're doing the Lantern show, they're gonna uncover the Blackest Night secret. And
oh no!
Don't
flashpoint it.
We're getting Kyle as the. We're gonna get Kyle as that version.
No.
I guess we'll see how they go about it because judging from like the casting and what's going to be in this film, because I remember a while back James Gunn said like the DC animated universe was like an inspiration for how he wants to do the DCU. So like him like. Heroes appearing or whatever, I'm perfectly fine as long as the story is good. Because I always tell people, I'm like, like if 2 episodes of like the animated Justice League was good enough for me, it shouldn't be that hard.
So the only thing I have here, and this might be an unpopular opinion, I don't know, but I'm gonna put it out here anyway, and this is kind of further, I guess, exacerbated by James Gunn. This is Superman Legacy is not connected to the DCEU, right? Like, it's not. But Waller and Peacemaker and the return of Margot and such are all going to be just that. So, like, we're getting Peacemaker Season 2. Peacemaker, sequel to The Suicide Squad, which features Nathan Fillion, different character.
Here's how that works with Peacemaker. Do you remember in Rebirth when there was just one character that knew that something was changed?
Yes.
That's
the Psycho Pirate, whatever his name is.
Yeah, but make it Peacemaker. We do that.
Honestly,
I saw that theory online. He was like, "Wait, why did everything change?"
If they were to storyline it, that's pretty much the only thing I could take. Because, like, right now, the messaging is still confusing. Like, James Gunn just did an interview, right? And he's like, so Blue Beetle is the first DCU film, but it's not the first one that kicks it off. It's actually Superman. You're like, what the hell are you talking about?
They changed that because they said that it's not the movie, it's the actor.
Yeah, so now
that's all it is. They're going to change the origin and go again from there. So, which, you know, like, keeping some actors I'm fine with.
Yeah,
like, it's a we've got multiverse stuff. You just write it off like that.
Yeah,
it's totally fine. I've got no problem with keeping like someone like Margot Robbie. Like, you wasted them before. Let's try and do something with her now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
let's actually give people the Harlequin people want with her, and just go from there. So I'm alright with it as long as it's visually different and tonally and story wise. No one's gonna care.
Yeah, I think
though with how the DC movies have been going recently, no one might care anyway. So it's a tough sell at the minute.
I mean, it ain't wrong though, and it ain't wrong, and that's kind of like where I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this whole thing. Like, there's still a lot of conflicting messages. I do hope that they can really just work this out and figure out how they're gonna like properly message this, because I'm still seeing a lot of conflicting from the fans. The basic fans, like the casuals I talk to, even they're like, Like, I was at the gym just the other week, and there's a guy I frequently talk to. He always wears comic book tank tops, so do I, so we kind of just, like, became acquaintances. And he watches DC stuff as well. And he was like, okay, so just quickly explain this to me. And I tried, and he was like, oh. Like, you just kind of saw his, like, spirit die when I was trying to explain it. It's like, it's already a bit too convoluted. Like, Superman Legacy, I love the cast. The cast looks great to me.
Yeah.
And I trust James Gunn is going to be able to handle all these characters because he's great with a lot of characters in a film. But just something about this being your first one and already doing it like this just feels a little weird to me. I don't know.
I find it... People, this might be a slightly controversial take. I find it very interesting. He's literally copying the story of Black Adam for Superman Legacy.
Yeah.
That's after that movie. That's a brave move to make.
Yeah, it is.
See, The Rock was right again. That's it.
The hierarchy did change.
Now that you mentioned it, Superman Legacy seems
to
be
it literally is Black Adam.
Yeah. Superman
it's
Legacy.
It's going to be a more hopeful movie.
I can't wait for Superman Legacy to end with Clark leaving a destroyed Metropolis, and suddenly we hear a boom, and Henry Cavill shows up. He's like, "We gotta talk." What? Oh, it's my God.
The boom's just Michael Keaton's Batman, like hobbling in his cane,
carrying unsold copies of The Flash.
We need to talk.
We need to talk. I
want to get nuts.
Apparently, nobody wanted to get nuts in the theaters with that movie because, jeez.
You know how crazy. Like, I don't want to dig into the Flash even more, but you know what's crazy? Like, the fact that the Flash and Elemental came out the same day, and Elemental went on tops.
And it's still in like the top 6. Well, Flash is 12th, 13th. Yeah, it's wild. It's really crazy.
I completely forgot about that Elemental movie.
It was pretty good.
Elemental is confirmed. It finally passed like the first Frozen.
Mm-hmm.
So it's making bank because there was we guess you got to watch something in the theater.
So, I do want to ask this. So, we got then Superman coming out. This got younger cast, everything. The budget's going to have to be smaller, right? Obviously, the film's out in less than 2 years now. What do you think they're going to do with the whole idea of, okay, we got this universe. It's ongoing. We're dropping Superman into it. Here's Hawkgirl. Here's Green Lantern. What do you think the bigger story is going to be? Because if it's involving these characters, I have a feeling that they're already going to start setting up whatever the giant crossover is, right? Like,
oh, 100%, yeah. This is going to be a case of, hey, we have all these heroes. They know each other. There's not like an actual team together, and then this movie's going to set up Clark to kickstart that.
Yeah.
You can see like whoever Rooker plays being like, we're super friends. That's all we are right now. But as who the villain could be, I haven't got a clue.
Yeah.
Imagine Darkseid.
Oh.
Snyder fans will lose it.
Oh. That would be kind of wild. I don't know. I'm optimistic. Superman Legacy. I want to see some stuff from James Gunn before I fully have a judgment, but I think he's gonna do it right. Like, I trust him.
Oh yeah, I've got a faith in him. Like, people are going, oh, the cast is stuffed. Like, this is so crowded. It's like, you've watched like him do ensemble comic book movies for the last 10 years.
Exactly.
Like he will be fine.
Yeah.
Like, they're obviously all not going to be in the movie for the entire length.
Right.
It is a Superman and Lois story. Or a Clark and Lois story. It's gonna be fine.
Exactly. So we'll see what happens. We'll talk about it soon. The more we know stuff, which by the end of the year they should start shooting. So, hey, speaking of abandoning one universe, going into another, let's talk about the set photos of Deadpool 3, which have revealed to us that, yes, Hugh Jackman, he's got that outfit we've all been waiting for. Finally. It's happening.
Finally, yeah.
It's happening.
It's crazy. It's taken 23 years for Wolverine to be on screen.
Yeah. It's wild.
Right.
It's
as someone who grew up like really invested into the X-Men. I remember getting I don't want to show my age, but getting like a VHS tape for the first X-Men movie.
I don't want to show my age. Here, let me talk about a thing that kids these days.
Let me talk about VHSs.
You might as well have said Betamax.
I thought he was going to say Laserdisc.
Oh, Tristan's here.
Good. Tristan's joining us. Yeah.
Oh, no. It's just a Skype did a thing and didn't alert me. So I was just sitting on the computer for the longest time.
Nice.
When it does that, that's awesome. That's awesome.
I love that. Tristan's sitting there, it's like, what the hell are these guys doing? They said an hour, and it's been like an hour.
Well, okay, Tristan, since you're here, how do you feel about the set photos of Wolverine?
I mean, they're okay. I saw a couple of them. I did see that one where they, I guess, having some fun with it, where they had the 20th Century Fox logo, Planet of the Apes style. Like they're probably gonna do something with that, some of that style with it. And I did see the people were getting mad about Hugh Jackman and why he doesn't have the sleeves removed from the suit. And then people forgot, or it came out that the reason that they did it for him is because he's highly susceptible to skin cancer. So
I say, is that actually, have they said that themselves, or is that just people being like, the guy's had skin cancer like 8 times?
I think that's people themselves, because the last time he had skin cancer, which was like 2-3 times, was on his nose.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that means he has to wear a cowl to protect his nose.
I was going to say, there's skin on the face. Like, where's the mask?
Yeah, that's what they said. That's what I can't see, because he has had bouts of it for various stages of his life. So
yeah,
it could be that. It could be a little bit of a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, until he actually comes out. But it's good. I know people were making fun of him trying to get direction on the I guess the battle scenario with Deadpool, on him fighting himself or fighting something. Well, because they were recordings of him just getting direction on where the fight would take place, and then you saw some of them. I guess people were saying that he's the him and Deadpool are gonna fight sometime in the actual film, I guess.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Oh yeah, because the set photos are like that 20th Century Fox. The whole set photo thing we've got is them having a fight.
Yeah.
I just want to know, like, what is it gonna be about? It's like Deadpool just gonna go on a rant on how like Fox destroyed the X-Men verse, and Wolverine's not gonna understand what the hell he's talking about.
Probably, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. I think we know the TVA's involved as well.
Oh yeah, yep.
Which I'm all the money where that studio logo is the TVO, like TVA junkyard timeline planet thing. That's 100% there.
100%. It's
because if you look at how they time, like Days of Future Past, they literally do the time travel stuff as well and make a mess of everything. So you just got this nice little through line you can go on.
Oh yeah, it's kind of crazy that 22 plus years of X-Men films have resulted in an actual story that pays off with nothing making sense. That is wild.
There might actually be character development.
Yeah.
You got Deadpool. You got Deadpool over here spamming just to get his girl back.
It's, I don't know.
He killed Ryan Reynolds.
Like the set photos look good. We got the suit. Obviously, a lot of people have noticed a lot of the stunts they're doing and stuff. They're not wearing their masks and they're wearing glasses. They're obviously going to CG masks onto them in those scenes and like CG the glasses out and stuff. So it's like, that is what it is at this point. Like, fine, like, bro, you have Hugh Jackman swinging off of like a crane, like 200 feet. You want him to wear a mask that restricts his view where he could potentially hurt somebody else? No.
Isn't he like 60 as well?
Exactly. Like, come on.
He's old and wrinkly.
The only thing that worries me is when they said that they got through like most of the shooting in like a month.
So,
I mean, films don't take that long to shoot anyway.
So here's the thing. Apparently, that was only the first set of shoots at the one location, and Deadline slightly screwed it up. So the second shoot is apparently another 6 weeks, but that's something completely devoid of the old location that they were doing. So I guess it's a 12-week shoot, technically. So.
They've also got... They're clearly going to be doing ADR stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the writer's strike's over, so they can... That's if the writer's strike ever actually ends.
Yeah.
And they haven't all starved to death on the streets of like Hollywood or whatever, but...
Yeah, it's...
Also, they have no actors now, so they can't
true.
actually do anything.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, I was excited for Deadpool 3, but now seeing these set photos, I'm more excited than I ever was before. So, it's...
I'd say it looks interesting. It's nice to see Jackman actually in the suit proper, and they didn't just... They could have cheaped out and just gone straight for the... what was that one suit we saw in the briefcase? The Origins?
Yeah.
Or the Wolverine.
The Wolverine,
yeah. That they could have just gone straight, which I would have been fine with, because like it'd been nice to have seen that suit actually in action, but I think this way it shows that it's not actually that Logan, because obviously we know what happens with him.
Right, exactly.
From the movie Logan.
It's also interesting that as soon as people saw the suit, people were already like arguing on like what the suit should actually look like. That people were saying it should have been the brown and yellow suit, not
I'll be honest, I was expecting brown and yellow. I wasn't expecting the blue.
And
for them to lean into it that much, because that suit's bright. It's kind of nuts.
I'm like fine with either one. It's just like I didn't think people were like get that heated over what preference of suit that they would want Wolverine to wear in the movie. So
yeah, people get weird with suit because no one realized that the Deadpool suit's different. And it's just like, has anyone got eyes? There's clearly differences.
No, they just look at his face, and if it's covered, they know it's good.
That's true, yeah. Granted, it's not that different, but there are some very obvious differences, and that's it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm liking everything I'm seeing. That's kind of my takeaway. Like, I have no complaints. Like, nothing yet.
Yeah.
We're hearing plenty of rumors of what's going to be happening. And it's like, the more I hear, the more I'm just getting excited. So, the fans seem to be winning with this one.
I'm just glad it doesn't look like a repeat of the first two movies.
Yeah. Look, I did not like Deadpool 2, so...
No.
Yeah.
Now, if I wanted to watch Deadpool 1 again, I would have just watched that.
But, yeah, I suppose that's how it goes. So, yeah, Deadpool 3, it's looking good, everybody. So, obviously, the film is way ahead of schedule since it's coming out in May. It's crazy, but we're gonna have a trailer by the end of the year. Like it's
well,
maybe, yeah.
No, you'll get a trailer and you know what it's gonna be. It's just gonna be Deadpool Wolverine sitting on the couch talking.
Can't do that because the writer's strike infringement. Also, it means they got to act. Can't do it.
Oh
No, it's animated.
They still have to write it. They're part of the writer's strike. They're also actors. As well.
Animated with voice AI.
You can get some interns, man.
Intern.
Of course.
They can completely destroy their entire career by crossing the picket line.
Oh, amazing! Just
pay all these random people on the street billions to write their stuff, so they haven't got to pay the writers or actors.
Yeah, you've seen the end credits be like Danny Spat is the head writer, and you know why it sounds so bad.
Boy, why is this part of the movie really focusing on these goth vampire chicks? Oh, it was written by some dude called Armin CBC? What? That explains a whole lot. Has nothing to do with the plot.
They just go on like AO3 or whatever.
Yeah.
There's gonna be like, is that a Mint Mobile ad in my Deadpool 3? What's going on?
Oh.
You gotta fill in the gaps for the film time.
This whole thing with, man, Hollywood is a mess. Everything's gonna take forever now to get out. It's gonna be a complete disaster.
I'll say, do you think we're gonna repeat the 70s where like they burnt the sign down?
I hope so. I want to see it.
I mean, they could go back to, I think it was like the probably the mid 30s to 40s maybe.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, they probably should.
Back to the wall.
Yeah. But one of the ones I did see where people were talking about, or making fun of the writer, the joke on writer strike is when the Disney workers went on strike and they actually made another guillotine.
Nice.
Awesome.
The only thing of use the French contributed to the world, the guillotine.
Oh. That's how it goes, I suppose. So, yeah, everybody, that's it. That's going to be this week's show. We're right there with the typical runtime. Hopefully everybody enjoyed it. Let's hope that the next week of news is good, but with all these pending strikes and everything, don't expect a whole lot of castings or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, we're screwed.
Next week, we revisit Avengers 1 rumors and retroactively look at what came true.
It's fine. We have like 20 years of stuff to cover.
It's true.
Though it is interesting, especially with this upcoming con season, because I know San Diego, it's most of what they had anyway for some of the, I guess, the press release and all the stuff they have there. Most of them they can't do, and any of the things that with actors they can't go. So just Yep. And it's weird because people are like, well, that's it for San Diego, and I'm like, well, San Diego, or even with New York, and I'm like, well, there's still cons. You just, if that's not your interest, then it's gonna be pretty boring for you because they're technically they're not going anywhere.
You might be able to walk around San Diego Comic Con now.
Yeah.
If anybody paid for a photo op, you'll just get your refund now.
It's like unless they're retired, you're probably not gonna have that.
Get that refund now.
So it's just gonna be a cutout, isn't it? Like,
most likely.
Here's a Ryan Reynolds cutout. Like, cool.
Yeah.
I paid hundreds for this.
Man, it's gonna be wild, honestly. There's so much that's affected by all of this, and Yeah, you think about it. Comic-Con's usually a big expo, you know, for...
Well, it's a big expo for what I like try to explain to people who say that you know they're gonna go the way of E3. I'm like it was a con before the studios took over like 10, 15 years ago. Because I think like the last time you could actually, especially for San Diego, the last time you could actually go there the day of and buy a ticket and just walk around was when I went there, and I think it was like 2012 to 2013. That was the last time you could like go there the day of and just walk around. Because after that, you actually have to like do a lottery.
That's how New York Comic Con was. 2012 was the last one you could actually buy tickets before. You know, they sold out, and after that, every year's like, nope. It's like, oh, okay, I guess.
Yeah. Every year they increase the ticket price. It's kind of insane.
Yeah, they do.
That's inflation, my bro.
Yeah.
So there's no panels or anything, like because like a lot of people like really like worried because I know like Marvel Games is gonna be there with Marvel Spider-Man 2. And people were like asking, is the panel still going to be? I'm like, probably, but you won't see any of the voice actors there trying to promote or anything like that. It'll just be probably just the dev team showing you stuff.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll see if we do a show next week what we can scrape together, and if we can't scrape anything together. Stay tuned, because we're going to talk about the rumors that Venom is possibly joining Spider-Man 3 by Sam Raimi and how Avi Arad is crazy. Could you imagine if they were to add Venom to that movie at the 11th hour?
I mean, Avi was crazy back in the 90s. If people wanted to know why Spider-Man, the animated series 94 got canceled, it was because of him.
Yeah. That's it. We'll come back and we'll do a retroactive podcast looking at old news and what we've learned since then.
I know the reason for it is wild. It's like he got into a screen match with one of the higher ups at Fox for it.
Dude, Abby, good old Uncle Abby. Good old Uncle Abby. Well, everybody.
The kids love Venom.
Needs more Venom. Put the hat on, Abby. Thank you everybody for joining us, and we'll catch you all next time.